Hello and welcome to the channel. Well, today you join me at home and I'm about to go to work. Stay tuned because it does get a little bit more interesting. Because I've set myself a bit of a challenge. And the challenge is, because I work 4 12-hour shifts, so I go into work at 4:30 in the afternoon and work all the way through to 4:30 in the morning. Now for those early birds of you, you'll understand that through June, 4:30 is the ideal time because it's just before the sun starts to rise. So I can get myself somewhere local to do some photography. So as any photographer will be aware, commitments elsewhere, be it work, be it family, be it friends, seem to sometimes take over. And this week has been no different. So I thought it'd be a good time to challenge myself to get out each morning, no matter what the weather, and take a number of images from 4 locations. The only downside I can see from this is you have no control over the weather. The previous days in work have been absolutely glorious sunrises. But no matter what, come rain, come shine, come glorious sunshine, fingers crossed, I'll be out there taking images and doing a vlog. So come along with me. I'll join you in the morning once I've got rid of the boring bit, work, and I'll hopefully see you in the field in Warrington. Well, good morning. You join me at my first location and we're at the Lone Tree in Warrington. Behind me, as you can probably hear in the distance actually, is the M62. Quite a busy motorway going from Liverpool to Manchester. So what we're looking to get from this location is this, I've vlogged from here before, but we've actually got quite a splendid lone tree just in the distance. And the farmer has very kindly, personally for me, put these tracks in all the way through, sort of leading lines to where the lone tree is. And I think this image works quite well. Certainly with the barley, the sort of stems of the barley, the way they're sort of quite wispy, leading on to where the tree is, and the 2 different tones of green. Now we've not got the best morning, we've not got, well, there is no sunrise really, it is just a bit of light in the sky, but as you can probably see, there is just cloud being covered everywhere. I was hoping for maybe a little bit of colour. But yeah, I'm not too put off because what's happened overnight as well, we've actually had quite a lot of rain and it's just covered this barley quite nicely. So we've got a couple of like fine small drops which I've also taken images of that. So you've got a little bit of rainwater on top of the barley, and I've taken a couple of images from there, and I think that works quite well. But I'm back focusing just on the main image now. I might move to the other side and see what I can get from there, see if I can get anything firing back. The only problem is we've got the likes of IKEA, which is just over there, in the far ground in the distance. So I'm not sure what will work, but I'll have a little play around and see what I can get from this location. Another feature we've got in this location, which I'm not sure will really work, is we've got the windmill in the distance as well. And I was hoping for a couple of tracks. So there's a few lines, obviously, where the farmer sprays the crops. And I was hoping for some to be leading on to where the windmill is, but it's not to be. I'm going to continue further up and just sort of see if there's anything that, just sort of see if it changes the path. But I doubt it. Well, yeah, I think the tree will be the main feature from here. But I think this is what this exercise is all about. It's trying to make the best of what conditions we get given. Obviously doing 4 locations in 4 mornings after a 12-hour shift. Yeah, I'm going to have to just work with what I've got. And I think that takes away a lot of the beauty. I say time and time again, don't just sort of rely on the weather. Don't just go out only if the weather's absolutely perfect. A lot of times there's images to be had, even when it is as grey and as miserable as it is now. I don't think it can get any more grey. Honestly. Of course, the real downside of doing this challenge, normally when I come out and do photography straight after a night shift, after a 12-hour night shift, I prep myself up with coffee. I sort of have quite a lot of coffee throughout the night, get myself going and yeah, keep me awake. I've not got that luxury because as soon as I finish here, I'm going home trying to get some sleep. So as the rain really starts to come down, there's really no sign of any sunrise anywhere. The sun should be rising over in that direction. There's just no colour in the sky at all. I think I've taken what I can from here, and yeah, I'll have a look and I'll show you guys now. So this is the first morning and first location complete. I'm going to go home, get some sleep, so I'll see you in the afternoon. See you then. Oh, well, good morning, and yeah, welcome. I'll just have a sip of this. Oh, I tell you, I'm terrible in the morning, and yeah, seeing as it's 1 o'clock, still affected me. So I got home this morning, had a look at the images, processed a couple, and obviously you've seen those already. Honestly, with that location, I think if you just did photographs and actually didn't do a vlog from there, you'd never believe it was right next to the M62, a main artery going from Liverpool to Manchester and vice versa. That stretch of motorway gets extremely busy. It's just a shame the weather conditions were what they are, but I think that's the whole challenge of this 4 locations, 4 mornings. Just get given what you're given. But so far, thoroughly enjoying it, and yeah, it's just good getting out. I always love the opportunity to get out, and it's far too easy for me to finish work, come home, climb into bed, and yeah, get a decent night's sleep. No, I feel so much better for this. But no, joking aside, I think it does us all good to get out, certainly when we're not feeling it. And although this morning I was feeling it, it would have been so much easier going to bed. Right, I'm going to finish my coffee, get ready for work, and do it all again. Well, morning. It's now the second vlog. True fact for you, doing a 12-hour shift and doing the second vlog on the bounce, yeah, it's tiring. So I'm at the second location. As you can probably tell, it's still quite dark. Yeah, sunrise isn't for another sort of another 10-15 minutes or so. So just gives me time to get into a location, which I'm going to do now. What makes this building so spectacular is they changed the theme of the light. Last time I shot it, it was all to do with the war in Croatia. But yeah, there's red lights on it now, red and yellow. So I'm not sure what the relevance of that is. I'll have a look, and if I find anything, I'll put it on screen now. But yeah, this building is absolutely glorious. So I shot here a couple of months ago, and yeah, it was just the start of spring, and there was lovely blossom in the trees over here. But there was an area shot further down with the wide angle. I put the 14-24 on, and yeah, it got a real nice morning shot. And I'm hoping to sort of try and get something this morning that's probably quite similar to that. So I'm just moving to the far end of the gardens, and yeah, I'm going to shoot again. I'm going to do a wide angle shot from here, I think, just to start, get the ball rolling this morning, and yeah, just see what I can get. So I'm currently just bracketing the shots. We've got quite a bit of a bright sky, even though the sun hasn't risen yet. The normal exposure is coming in around about 3 seconds, obviously with the brightness of the building. Yeah, it's sort of swaying things a little bit. We've got the darkness of the foreground, we've got the light on the building, and then we've got the bright sky. So I'm bracketing this shot just to make sure that I get all the detail in. Yeah, there's nothing worse than coming to a location like this and yeah, struggling when you're trying to process it. Now, the D850 doesn't really have much of an issue when you're trying to sort of bring down the highlights and raise the shadows, but yeah, they all have the limits. Even though I'm tired, I've had nowhere near enough coffee. Being out at this time in a town centre when there's pretty much just you around, yeah, you can't beat it. So I'm just moving to the middle of the grounds now. I'm going to stick the camera bang centre to the building, just probably around about here, and I'm going to probably going to do a pano. Now, last time I was here, I did use the 14-24 right underneath the building, sort of shot up, and the building was sort of, it really showed the dominance of the building. So I'm going to do 2 images now. So I'm going to do a panorama across with the 24-70 on, and then I'm going to move closer to the building and shoot low with the 14-24 on, and just sort of compare the two, see what we prefer. So I've just managed to get the panorama shot in, and they've turned the lights out on the building, so we've lost that lovely red glow that was on there. But yeah, I've managed to get take 2 panoramas, so I'll stitch those together and we'll see what we can get. So the next images will be slightly different. They won't have that nice red light on them, but yeah, I'm just hoping that the sky does something. We're starting to get a little bit of colour, a little bit of wispy colour in there. It's about another 10 minutes until sunrise, official sunrise, so yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get something this morning from this location. A little bit more successful than it was yesterday, although that was quite beautiful. So I knew it wouldn't be long until the lights actually came off, and yeah, it sort of added a little bit of pressure. In fact, all the lights have gone off now. So I'm going to scrap the plan of doing the 14-24 close to the building, because the light on the building now is just, well, as you can probably tell, it's a little bit flat without any lights on. Still a beautiful building, but yeah, those lights really added something. So instead I'm going to move to the front of the gardens, and for those of you who know Warrington, you'll know these gates very well. We've got some gold gates, or the gold painted gates on the front, probably a little bit OTT, shall we say, but yeah, they're quite impressive. Now, the only problem is I've taken a few images of these in the past and they've never seemed to work out. It never sort of portrays well on an image, but yeah, I'll have another go this morning. So I'm just heading back to the original location, and yeah, I'm going to take another image from there because the sky's just started to kick off, but I don't think it's going to last for long, so bear with me. But yeah, I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting another grey morning, but yeah, impressive. It's just such a shame those lights have gone off on the building, because this would have been absolutely phenomenal with the way the sky is at the moment. The glorious sort of goldeny sort of purple hues are in the sky. Yeah, such a shame. I mean, when you've got skies like that over a building, yeah, you just need to take everything you can get. So I'm just going to focus on the next sort of 10 minutes or so, taking some images. Sorry, I can't stop looking up because it's I can see it's starting to fade already. It's been there for probably about 5 minutes and already the colour's starting to go. Oh, it's such a shame. So I'm going to concentrate on getting a couple of images whilst it's there, and yeah, see what we can come up with. So our first batch of colour has gone. There seems to be some more sort of broken cloud in the distance that's kind of making its way through. So I'm just going to wait around for a couple of minutes and just sort of see if that comes through. But Oh, it's been spectacular. So this building was built in 1750 by James Gibbs, and it just shows, you know, it's really stood the test of time. It's absolutely glorious building, so much detail on it as well, and yeah, it just, they don't make them like they used to. Sort of standing here appreciating this building, you realise actually there are parts of Warrington that are absolutely glorious, this being one of them. Well, it looks as if the second part of that cloud isn't going to amount to anything. Yeah, it's kind of heading in the wrong direction, and there's not really a lot of colour to it. So yeah, I think from here it's probably time to quit and yeah, go home, get to bed, get some sleep, and I'll rejoin you this afternoon when I've woken up, hopefully a little bit more refreshed and with a coffee in hand. Oh, I'm looking forward to that coffee. Catch you in a bit. The coffee takes a priority. Well, good morning. After a terrible sleep, by the time I got home the sun was bright in the sky, and that cloud had completely dispersed, and yeah, it was just a bright morning, and yeah, with the sun coming through the curtains, and trying to get to sleep at that sort of time, sort of 6:30 by the time I had a look at the images and posted or processed a few. Yeah, quite difficult. Anyway, enough whinging, more coffee. So the images, what did I think of them? Well, that sky was so fleeting, it sort of ignited for a couple of minutes and then just really sort of went into nothing. That was my biggest issue, and I felt as if I was really rushed. Also with the lights on the building as well, I knew they were set on either a timer or a sensor, so once the daylight come, I knew they would be off. So it did feel like it was a bit of a rush shoot. But looking at the images when I got in, they were okay. They're not groundbreaking, they're not portfolio shots, but I don't think any of these will be. Again, it's just an opportunity to get out and sort of using any opportunity we can to get out and actually do photography, and possibly a vlog as well. I think the issue with doing any sort of sunrise or sunset photography, you are so rushed and trying to get the right composition and make sure it's all correct for when this sky does its piece. And the problem is, when it does, I think in processing we tend to force these images a little bit too much. I know I do personally, and that's what I feel I've done with these images. I'm not 100% happy with them. They're okay, they will do. I'll probably post them on Facebook onto the local social medias, but that will be about it. And I guess that's part of the nature of the beast. What I'm doing here is sort of rushing to a location, getting there, taking a few shots, doing a bit of a vlog, and yeah, trying to get the most out of it. So yeah, the pressure is on. So I hope you're enjoying this vlog so far. It's a little bit different, it's a little bit sort of out of my comfort zone, and I'd honestly, after a 12-hour shift, certainly throughout the night, you just want to come home and go to bed. So this is why this is particularly more challenging. But if you're enjoying the content so far, don't forget to give me that old thumbs up. That'll really inspire me to keep going. Even though this has already been recorded and I've already done the photography, and yeah, it was probably last week that I did this. But you get my drift. And if you don't like this content, give me a thumbs down, but make sure you tap it twice to show me how angry you are. So tonight's going to be a little bit different. I've got to travel down to Northampton, a place called Rugby, have a meeting, then head back, then go out, do the vlog, do the photography. But the location I've picked is quite special. I hope you enjoy it. Right, finish this, get ready, head off. See you in the morning. Normally when taking long exposures, I'd advise, you know, lock your tripod down, make sure you can't move, and yeah, make sure you've got a good base to stand on. This ain't the case, but I think it's more of a case of when needs must. So it's the following morning, I've been to Rugby, come back, got my car, come to this location. Now this wasn't the original location I was going to come to. The original location is probably about a mile and a half further up that road, which I think I'm going to go to tomorrow, because I think I need the weather conditions a little bit more improved than what we've got today. Again, it's another dull, overcast, cloudy day with yeah, no drama in the sky whatsoever. And this also isn't the main stop off. What I'm actually shooting is the location I'm going to go to next, and that's a church right in the distance. But I'll show this image now, see what you think. With the camera resting on there, I've got it on a 5-second delay and sort of just holding the camera, pressing the trigger and releasing very, very slowly. Try and eliminate any camera shake, because these railings are moving, the tripod's kind of moving and everything's kind of balancing. It's not good. So I've shot what I can from here, and I'm heading back to the car now to go to the official location. Catch you in a little bit. How cool is that? Whilst I was at my last location, a chap was walking through and he was telling me about this, and yeah, I kind of really didn't believe him at first, but there it is, proof is in the pudding. Right, must move on. Okay, so I've arrived at this location. I've got to be quite quiet because there's residential houses just on the, just behind me, just there. So yeah, I'm at St Elphin's Church in Warrington now. This place, the spire, is quite impressive. So yeah, I've obviously taken this shot from over the River Mersey a few minutes ago, so I'm going to concentrate now getting a few sort of close-ups. Now I'm going to throw the 14 to 24 on for this shot and try and get the whole church within that shot. I was hoping for a long exposure. Now this place does have lights on, sort of shining on it throughout the night, but yeah, again the lights have gone off. But yeah, it's such a tall church. The spire is immense, so that's what I'm going to pretty much focus on. Low down shot, looking up, and yeah, see what we can get. So I've just walked into the gardens a little bit and I've noticed these willow trees behind me. I'm hoping to incorporate them, you know, one of the images. I don't know, something about a willow tree I really like. They're quite mystical. I'm certainly no tree hugger, but these are my favourite types of trees, willows. Love them. Just to put this branch or trunk into perspective, that's the size of my hand against it. This willow tree is huge, absolutely immense. I'm not sure how old it is. It must be hundreds of years old. But yeah, it's something quite spectacular. I think I'm gonna have to do some images from here. Yeah, ignore the church, I'm doing these trees. What's quite funny is I'm setting up for this next shot. I've got biffa bins. You kind of forget you're in the middle of the town centre and the town is only just waking up. I've got biffa bins in the distance, emptying a load of bottles from Sainsbury's. You can probably hear that from Sainsbury's bottle bins or whatever it is in the distance. It's probably less than 500 yards away. But yeah, being here, you kind of forget that you're actually bang in the centre of the town. It's quite bizarre. probably tell by that time lapse we had the briefest of brief sort of splashes of light, splashes of colour on the church. It happened in real time for about 30 seconds to about a minute, so I took as many shots as I could, but yeah, I wasn't quick enough. So I've probably done all I can from this location. It's starting to cloud over again. The weather forecast is it's going to be cloudy today, so yeah, I think we've seen the best of it. So I'm going to wrap up from this location, go home, go to bed. You know the pattern by now. Wake up, get a coffee, speak to you guys again, and sort of review this morning, and yeah, sort of review the images. So yeah, I guess I'll see you after I've had a bit of sleep, well needed sleep. Catch you in a bit. Bye bye now. Oh, morning or afternoon as it is, soon as it's 1:30. Cheers. So this morning in St Elphin's Church. Well, I wasn't really expecting that weather, the way the weather conditions were. The previous night I drove to Rugby, and you can tell by that B-roll, it was just a glorious night. When we got back into the Warrington area, it was just grotty and horrible. So that's the reason why I changed location. The original location I was going to go to, I actually drove past it and thought, no, there's no point, carry on to what was going to be day number 4. But the weather conditions really improved. And that's the beauty with that location, shooting at St Elphin's Church. It doesn't matter what the conditions are, you can always get a shot. But with the way the weather changed was just a bonus. I couldn't have hoped for anything better. And although I didn't have to, I have actually bracketed a number of those shots, just to make sure I can get enough detail out of the shadows and sort of bring the highlights down as well. But I'm so pleased I changed location last minute. Right, well, time's ticking on. I'm going to finish this coffee, possibly have another one, get ready for work. You know the drill by now. I'll see you in about 14 hours. See you in a bit. So welcome to morning number 4. I guess you could say the finale. So this morning I've come to the Cantilever Bridge, and this bridge is quite a high bridge, and I've vlogged from here before quite a while ago now, a couple of years ago. But yeah, it's quite high up, and the elevation of it actually gives some quite spectacular views. I'll show you in a minute. Like I say, spectacular views. So this bridge goes over the Manchester Ship Canal, so it goes all the way from Ellesmere Port all the way into Salford in Manchester. So yeah, this is like at one time the main artery for getting supplies into Manchester. So yeah, a bit of history. And the problem with history is it gets old, and this bridge feels very, very old. Every time a car goes by, you can feel it start to move. And we're quite high up, over water. But anyway, I'm going to take some brave pills, get the camera set up, and yeah, see what we can get from this glorious morning. So since I've been doing this batch of 4 mornings of photography, it's amazing actually how different the weather's been. Certainly from the first location where we had the yeah, that really just dull grey nothingness, to the second location, which was kind of okay, had quite a bit of colour to the sky, even if it was short-lived. The one yesterday, which looked as if it was going to be completely grey, but yeah, for a few seconds we had some perfect light. And now this morning, where it's a little bit cooler, but we've just got clear skies all the way around. And this is possibly going to be perfect for today. As I'm talking, I'm sort of looking down the canal, and there's hardly a ripple on the water. It's a very still morning, so I'm going to take some real sort of close shots of the bridges from here all the way across. We've got 3 bridges. We've got this one included, then we've got a swing bridge, then a railway bridge, and then we're onto the locks and into the very distance. So I'm going to bang the 7200 on, try and get in nice and sharp, nice and close to those bridges, and yeah, try and work on the reflections before the morning starts, before the ripple starts in the water and we get a bit of a breeze. So yeah, I'll set up now. So I'm not sure if you can see, but just over the sort of pillars of the bridge, we've got a little bit of wispy cloud coming across, and I'm hoping that will come right across and give some colour to the sky, because at the minute, I've got to be honest, it's looking a little bit dull, a little bit boring, but yeah, only time will tell. There is quite a bit of haze in the distance, and normally that's a bit of a sign that you're not going to get the sunrise you want, so I'm kind of hoping that sunrise goes, and yeah, this wispy cloud moves across just in time to ignite, light up, and yeah, give a little bit of drama in the sky. But yeah, this is just great. So this is really the morning that keeps on giving. I'm now getting some quite nice wispy cloud. I'll just sort of turn you guys around now. You can probably see in the distance there's some nice wispy cloud. If you can't see on this camera, I'll show the images in a minute. And yeah, it's really making a difference to this area. When I got here this morning, I thought, yeah, I'll take a few shots, even if it's just you know, a basic sunrise. But yeah, with this cloud in, it just adds another dimension. So yeah, loving it. So the sun's risen quite high now and all the colour's gone out of the sky. So I've just been running around doing some handheld shots just of the bridge here. And one of the beauties of being out this early, I mean it's what, 5:15, coming up to 5:20 now, is the traffic is at a bare minimal. Another hour, 2 hours on this bridge and it's going to be bouncing along, cars going left, right and centre, and yeah, I wouldn't be able to get the shots I've been able to get now. So I'll show a few of those now, see what you think. So I think I've shot all I can from the Cantilever Bridge in Warrington. So I'm going to wrap up, throw the stuff back in the car, head home, get some sleep, and I'll speak to you this afternoon. So I'll catch you then. Bye bye. So the final location is complete. I reviewed the images, went through the images this morning, and yeah, I was quite happy with a few of them. What I love about that location, because I've shot there a number of times, I didn't feel restricted to take the same normal shots. And I felt a little bit creative. Now maybe that's because it's the last shift and I'm not going back into work tonight and it was the final part of the vlog where I was a bit more creative. But I always find that when I go handheld, I don't know, it almost gets the creative juices flowing. You're not restricted with the tripod and you can just go out there and just sort of, yeah, take shots, take what your mind sees. So with that being the fourth location on the fourth morning, this is kind of the end of the vlog. So what have I learned from this? Well, I think the key element is I've had to adapt to what I've been given, certainly in the weather conditions. I've had to adapt to, as I mentioned all the way through the vlog, being tired and just wanting to go home and go to bed. And that in itself has been a bit of a bonus. I think too many times as photographers, we don't feel right, the weather conditions aren't great, we just want to sort of have a day off and kind of not do anything. With forcing myself to go to these 4 locations and do a video from this, I've had to do it. And every single location I've got to, I've loved it when I've got there. A bit of a confession, an hour before finishing work, I've kind of ran it through my mind is this worth it? But I thought through, got to the location and thoroughly enjoyed the morning. And I hope you've enjoyed watching this video and managed to take something away from this. So will I be doing this every morning after I finish work? No, I won't, but I certainly will be doing it again. I think the issue with now, until we get sort of later on into the summer, is the mornings. The morning sunrise is too early. Even at 4:30, I was struggling to get to a location before that sun rose. And each of these locations were within a 10-minute drive. So I hope you've liked this video. It's something a little bit different. It's something I've really enjoyed making. So from 4 locations, 4 mornings, all around the Warrington area, and a little bit of B-roll going down to Rugby, it's time to finish this vlog here. All the best, take care, and I'll see you very, very soon for the next one. Bye-bye now.